the cluttered, sunlit living room, you have each other. Don't let the small stuff break you apart. As Helen left, she squeezed Jack's hand. And Tripper, try not to break any more furniture. Stanley's heart can only take so much redecorating. Chapter 10, The Misfit Mop Up. The honeymoon phase of the rent recovery didn't last long. By Wednesday, the apartment looked as though a small hurricane had decided to take up residence in the living room. Piles of Jack's culinary textbooks competed for space with Chrissy's mismatched shoes and Jeanette's abandoned sketches of floral arrangements. That's it, Jeanette declared, standing in the center of the room with her hands on her hips. Today is cleaning day. No one leaves this apartment until we can actually see the floor. Jack groaned from the sofa. But Jeanette, I have a vision for a 5-course meal tonight. I can't be encumbered by the mundane reality of a mop. Jack, the only thing you'll be cooking tonight is a frozen dinner if you don't pick up those towels, Jeanette countered, tossing a sponge at his head. The afternoon descended into a rhythmic chaos of splashing water and frantic vacuuming. Chrissy, who treated cleaning like a Broadway rehearsal, danced through the kitchen with a feather duster, singing show tunes at the top of her lungs. Jack, unfortunately, was assigned the task of cleaning the windows, which involved a precarious balancing act on a rickety wooden chair. Careful, Jack, Chrissy chirped, spinning past him. If you fall, don't land on my new disco shoes. Thanks for the support, Chrissy, Jack grunted, reaching for a smudge on the upper pane. Predictably, gravity intervened. The chair slipped on a patch of soapy water, and Jack went sailing into the curtains. He managed to snag the rod, but it wasn't designed for the weight of a frantic culinary student. With a sound of splintering wood, the entire assembly came crashing down, wrapping Jack in a dusty, floral shroud. I'm okay. Jack's muffled voice came from beneath the fabric. I've just decided to become a window treatment. Jeanette sighed, rubbing her temples. Cleaning day might have been a mistake. We're losing more in property damage than we're gaining in hygiene. Chapter 11, The Neighborhood Watch. Downstairs, Stanley Roper was feeling a surge of civic duty. He had recently read an article in the local Gazette about the benefits of a neighborhood watch, which he interpreted as an official license to peep at his tenants even more than usual. I'm the captain, Helen, Stanley announced, adjusting a badge he'd fashioned out of a gold foil chocolate wrapper. I'm the first line of defense against the moral decay of Santa Monica. You're the first line of defense against our own peace and quiet, Stanley, Helen replied, not looking up from her book. Stanley spent the evening patrolling the perimeter of the building with a flashlight that had a suspiciously weak beam. He took notes on everything: how long the light stayed on in 201, who entered the Beagle, and whether the palm trees were looking un-American. He caught Jack trying to sneak back into the apartment with a giant bag of takeout. Aha! Contraband. Stanley shined the light directly into Jack's eyes. It's just tacos, Mr. Roper. Unless the taco shells are a threat to national security. Tacos? But late night eating leads to late night walking. Tripper, Stanley warned, tapping his nose. I've got my eye on you. I know you Andrews sisters are prone to midnight escapades. Jack hurried upstairs, muttering about the price of privacy. I think Roper's finally gone off the deep end. He tried to deputize the fire hydrant on the corner. Chapter 12, The Secret Ingredient. Friday night brought a unique challenge. Jack's best friend Larry had entered them into a local chili cook-off at the beach, promising a grand prize of $100 and unprecedented fame. Larry, I don't have a chili recipe, Jack hissed as they stood behind a makeshift wooden counter on the sand. Relax, Jack. You're a chef. Just throw some beans and fire in a pot. People love fire. Larry winked, already busy flirting with a group of girls in bikinis nearby. The competition was fierce. There were professional caterers with elaborate spice racks and old bikers who claimed their recipes were older than the Pacific. Jack worked with a borrowed pot and a frantic energy, throwing in whatever he could find: cumin, peppers, a dash of honey, and in a moment of desperation a splash of the beer Jana was drinking. Jack, what is that? Jana asked, peeking into the steaming cauldron. It's a masterpiece, Jana, or a chemical weapon. It's hard to tell until it cools. As the judges made their rounds, a sudden gust of wind caught the beach, blowing a cloud of sand directly into the pots. Most of the contestants groaned in despair, but Jack didn't skip a beat. He grabbed a lime and a handful of cilantro, masking the crunch with a bright, citrus finish. To everyone's shock, the lead judge, a man with a mustache that looked like a walrus, proclaimed Jack's dessert grit chili the most innovative dish of the night. The texture, the judge marveled. It's like the beach itself came to life in my mouth. Jack accepted the prize with a sheepish grin. Thanks. It's a family secret, very earth-toned. They spent the prize money on a celebratory dinner at the Beagle, where even Stanley joined them for a drink, though he insisted on checking everyone's ID for security reasons. Chapter 13, The Secret Shopper. Monday morning brought an unexpected opportunity for Jack. He had been approached by a local magazine to act as a secret shopper for the area's most pretentious restaurants. The pay was decent, and the meals were free. But there was a catch. He had to maintain absolute secrecy to ensure the reviews remained unbiased. I have to go out tonight, girls, Jack said, sliding into a somewhat ill-fitting suit he'd borrowed from Larry. It's a culinary research project. Jean narrowed her eyes. Culinary research. At 8 o'clock at night, wearing a tie, and smells like expensive cologne, Chrissy added, leaning in to sniff his collar. Jack, are you seeing someone? Is it a girl from New York? No, nothing like that, Jack stammered, his face turning a guilty shade of pink. It's strictly professional. I'm I'm exploring the infrastructure of the